times do we have to say this to the Muslim audience? There is no such thing as royal we or plural majesty in Semitic languages.
So just because it isn't in the Semitic languages, that doesn't mean the concept didn't exist, dumbass.
First of all, why are you insulting me? We all know why.
If the shoe fits, it's not an insult.
Secondly, you've already conceded the argument. What is my argument? My argument was there is no plural majesty in Semitic languages, which you just conceded when you said it's not in Semitic languages.
So first, you're too dense to understand what I'm saying, and second, you're blatantly lying. Your argument wasn't that it isn't in Semitic languages. The word pluralis majestis isn't in the Quran, it's implied. So the question isn't, is it in the Quran? No, the implication. The verses in the Quran, the video that I baked you in, I gave you verses to back up that argument of why it is pluralis majestis and not plurality. You didn't respond to that, and I know why, because I baked your religion at the end of that video too. Your argument isn't that pluralis majestis didn't exist in Semitic languages. Your argument was
the reason they have to play the plural majesty nonsense is because they know the Quran is polytheistic.
So your argument, if that was truly your argument, that the pluralis majestis isn't in the Semitic language, you have no argument. Because the point here isn't that the pluralis majestis is in Semitic language. The point here is what is the Quran saying and how does it imply and how does the contents of the Quran backs up that argument, which it does. In that video I gave you verses which implies clearly that it is talking about pluralis majestis. Even in the Old Testament, the same thing is used. So the Jews don't believe on three gods like you guys. So you baked yourself in. Your argument was never about that the Semitic languages don't have pluralis majestis. Your point was that it doesn't exist because the concept was introduced by King Henry II. But that was for England. And you got exposed there too. And you're about to bake yourself further.
But then you move on to say, well, it was a concept of the day. Being a concept and being in Semitic languages is two different categories.
You really need to watch your video that you posted before you make a response video. You just cooked yourself. You said it was invented by King Henry II. That means the concept didn't exist anywhere. That is the problem. Listen to your own words.
It was only invented by King Henry II.
Oh, we're not done, bro. I like my steak well done. Baking is not done yet. Let's continue.
Notice my argument was not in Semitic languages.
That was part of your argument. The whole picture of your argument was that the concept was introduced by King Henry II and Islam is polytheistic because of it. By your own video, you're implying that the concept of pluralis majestis didn't exist. You can't use King Henry II because he only brought it to England. And if that was your argument, that King Henry II invented it, you destroyed your argument further because he didn't.
So you've actually already debunked yourself.
He doesn't even know what's happening. He's so clueless.
But let's go further on. So that we see 12th and 13th century, the English popularized it. But the 4th century and medieval ages that was talked about, the concept was in their language. It wasn't used. It wasn't a known thing.
Just because something is not a known thing was not your argument. Your argument was it didn't exist because King Henry II invented it. Listen to your words.
It was only invented by King Henry II in the 12th and 13th century.
Do you see how ridiculous you sound? First, you don't even know what your argument is. And on the top of that, you're lying too. Are you serious?
Think, monkey. Think.
It was just written in that sort of concept. It was only invented, you could say, or popularized in the 12th to 13th century.
I'm losing brain cells at a rapid pace. He just said invented, or you could say popularized. They're not the same thing. They're not even the same concept. Are you serious? Look at Google. The definition of invention is something that didn't exist prior. Is that the case with the pluralis majestis? No. Is popularization and invention the same thing? No. They're different concepts. This is what I mean, bro. This guy doesn't even know what he's talking about. Are you lost?
Hence why you only have Ibn Taymiyyah talking about it for the first time in when? 12th to 13th century.
Because that is when this dumb argument you're bringing up got popularized.
Bruh.
Never before. The only reason he spoke about it because there was contention about being the we. Who is this we? Who is this nanos used in Arabic?
And he just proved my argument. And I'm good at foreshadowing this. He just gave you the reason why he started talking about this. Because this is when people started talking about the concept you're bringing up, not because the concept didn't exist. Good job, bro. Good job. Listen, focus on your three gods and explaining the incoherency of your religion. I know why you didn't respond to the rest of that video when I baked your Bible as collateral. I've told you last time, but let me remind you again. Be careful with what measure you judge by, because it might just get judged back at you.